Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/relationships, where OP's wife admitted to having an affair with her coworker. Let's begin. My friend can accept it when men reject her, and it's starting to make things awkward. Posted by Reddit user That Girl in Lavender.
I'm good friends with another woman, Kelsey, I met through some athletic social clubs and networks that we are jointly part of. We've known each other for a couple of years now. Most of my social circle in the city I live in is made up of people in these athletic clubs, but I'm closest to Kelsey, who attends a lot of the events with me. She's created a lot of friendships through these groups too, and she also uses them as an opportunity to make romantic connections and go on dates. I've started to notice that she does not handle rejection well when she tries but fails to date someone in these clubs. Plenty of people don't take rejection well, and this would not be a problem, except that I've begun to notice that people are avoiding her when we're at events. By proxy, they're avoiding me too. For example, there was a guy who Kelsey kept texting and asking him if he had feelings for her over several months, despite him never asking her on a date, and insisting that he didn't have feelings for her. She showed me the text messages where he said that he was not interested, but told me that he was just denying his true feelings as he was just too afraid to show them. Now, when we go to events, he avoids her and has begun to avoid me too, even though we got along fine before. I definitely don't blame him for this. I've begun to notice that this is a pattern, and I'm concerned by how inappropriate this behavior is. She'll tell someone that she's interested in him romantically, and when he does not reciprocate, she'll continue to believe that he is secretly attracted to her but won't date her because of XYZ. She'll keep trying to flirt with them or try to talk them into confessing that they have feelings for her. Most recently, there is a guy who she claims must have some kind of sexual dysfunction issue, and that's why he won't date her. This is in spite of the fact that she showed me a text message where he clearly stated that he is simply not interested in pursuing a relationship. He's a sweet person who is an organizer of some of our regular events, and I was bothered by how insulting that claim is to him. I really like Kelsey and she's a great friend to me, but I find it extremely distasteful how uncomfortable she is making people. I also worry that our closeness is starting to affect how I'm viewed in these groups. While I'm not good friends with any of the men that she has done this to, I don't want to alienate myself within my own social network that I've established for myself. I never know what to say when she is telling me about these guys. Sometimes I just want to tell her, he's just not into you and you need to believe him when he tells you that he's not interested. I'm afraid this will deeply upset her since she takes rejection so poorly. I have no idea how to approach this. Do I ignore it? Do I talk about this with her? TLDR, my friend won't accept when men in our social network are not interested in her, to the point that she will continue to try to get them to confess their feelings. They have started to avoid her, and I don't know how to address this with her.
Can we just imagine if the genders were reversed? What Kelsey is doing would be considered harassment and stalking. Seriously, these crazy bitches get away with a lot more bullshit. But, going back to you, OP, why are you still friends with this woman? Dude, she's a creep who continues to sexually harass men who have explicitly told her that they are not interested. If you knew a guy who was doing the exact same thing, would you even consider a heart-to-heart talk with him? Or would you just cut ties and move on? Come on, OP, you can make better friends than this. And now for today's second story. I'm feeling lost with my wife's infidelity. Posted by Reddit user SadRice995.
I found out 4 days ago that my wife of 4 years was dating and engaged for just under 2 years, I believe, before that, was cheating on me with a coworker, and I just feel so lost. Sorry in advance if the post is rambling. It's just kind of following my thought process at the moment.
By the end of this, you are going to be crying like a little bitch.
Our marriage had been struggling over the past month or two, and I definitely contributed to that, mostly with my alcoholism that I've been struggling with for years. Thankfully, no abuse or anything like that from my end, and also thankfully I'm not an angry or depressive alcoholic. However, I know it's still a problem and want to seek help. And we had a serious conversation where she said she couldn't do 4 more years of stress. For her, this was primarily due to us not being financially stable in the years since we've married and my aforementioned alcoholism. During this conversation, she mentioned that she wanted to sleep in separate bedrooms and implied she wanted to be legally separated. Do our own thing and work on ourselves is as close to verbatim as I recall. This rocked me and surprised me super hard since even though we've had a tough 4 years, I thought we've always considered our marriage to be strong. We were poor, but both affectionately called it our little Weasley life. We always spent tons of time affirming verbally how much we love each other and how much we appreciate each other. So I broke down at this.
Wow, like a bitch.
And that's what Frieza said.
My wife was and is my best friend, and we share everything with each other, and I consider her one of the best things to have ever happened to me. I knew that every marriage will have its ups and downs, and takes hard work, but I didn't realize it was bad enough that my wife was considering divorce as an option and ultimatum. Then my wife said that she felt guilty about something. I asked for clarification, and that's when she admitted the cheating. I've been asking for details as I feel emotionally able to digest it, and here's what I know. There was no sex according to her, but there was sexting and making out and sexual touching. It lasted about a week and she knew the guy for 2 weeks, so it took a week for her to start fooling around with him. She crossed the line first by sending a picture. Her words, she didn't clarify, so I'm assuming a nude or something else explicit. The guy is in an open relationship according to her and knew she was married. I'm just so in shock as I thought I knew her better than this, and this seems so unlike her and it's just so odd. Like when she told me about it, she showed no emotion whatsoever while I was just emotionally breaking down right next to her. I had to take the following morning off work as I was just a wreck, and I was literally shaking with anxiety for a good hour before she got home from work. And then she got home and saw me in the fetal position in bed just bawling my eyes out.
Weakness of any kind completely revolts me.
And she asks what's wrong. Or when I left to go to my parents to get some space and took a couple cats with me which we discussed, she said hope you and the cats have fun on the trip, which was a drive from Edmonton, Alberta to Victoria, British Columbia in Canada, so quite a long drive. Both of our immediate families know about this, and without exception have just been in shock and surprised, did not expect this from her. I so badly want to reconcile and move past this with her, and to work through this together as husband and wife and as a team. But she's not sure if she wants to. She's said multiple times that she doesn't know what she wants, and that in a perfect world, you and I would be legally separated and I'd still be talking to my friend from work. I've brought up to her a few times of why she's not showing a single shed of emotion, and she explains it off as I just want to keep a clear and level head, which isn't true. I know her and it's just like she's numbing everything. I know she really fucked up, but the guy knew she was married, so when I confronted her about that fact, she actually started defending him, saying that he's not at fault and that she's taking responsibility 100%, which really hurt. Like, is that all our vows were to you? It just took a week with a guy from work. Like I said, I really want to reconcile.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
But this just hurts so bad. At an absolute minimum, I wanted her to swear she wouldn't have anything else to do with this guy. But she couldn't. She couldn't even say she would try not to have anything else to do with him. She's suggested books and such for me to read to help get past this, but I feel like I don't want to put in an ounce of effort until she's ready to commit. Is that unfair of me? Apologies for the long post, just had a lot on my mind, and feel just emotionally shattered. Appreciate the read and the opportunity to vent. I just want to heal and I don't know how.
OP, the fact that she's defending him means that she values his well-being more than your own. She's checked out, you damn donut. Her lack of remorse and zero emotion towards you likely means she's long past working through her feelings for you and is no longer interested in being married. There's nothing to reconcile here. You need to implement the 180 and gray rock. Start preparing for a life without her. One last piece of advice, OP. Stop being so whiny. It's so annoying. Maybe that's why she's leaving you. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.